I stared at the empty space, my jaw slack, the iced coffee I was holding slipping from my grip and shattering on the asphalt. Where the heck was my car? Had it been stolen? No, sitting right beside the curb, smugly leaning against a pristine no parking sign that had appeared overnight, was Brenda Karen Peterson, the self-appointed queen of our homeowners association, her arms crossed, radiating a victorious chill that cut right through the morning heat. Are you kidding me right now? Did you just tow my electric vehicle, Brenda? I demanded, the sound of the tow truck's metallic squeal still echoing faintly down the street. It was non-compliant, darling, she cooed, her voice like sandpaper dipped in lemonade, her eyes hiding behind massive, designer sunglasses. The EV charging spot is reserved for registered homeowners association vehicles, per the emergency amendment passed at 3 a.m. this morning. You missed the memo. A sharp, acidic wave of anger hit me. That memo was clearly designed to target me, the only person in the complex with a non-Tesla EV. The sickeningly sweet scent of my neighbor's blooming jasmine suddenly felt oppressive, clashing with the tight, hard knot of pure frustration forming in my chest. A 3 a.m. emergency amendment? That's utterly ridiculous. What kind of power trip are you on, Brenda? I asked, throwing my hands up, the shattered glass reflecting the blazing Florida sun. I need that car for my job interview tomorrow. This is deliberate interference. She just offered a tiny, condescending smile. Perhaps you should have bought a vehicle that aligns with community standards. Alex, consider this a lesson in regulation. I watched her walk away, her perfectly tailored linen suit swishing, utterly triumphant, leaving me stranded, staring at a space where my beautiful, silent vehicle used to sit. Oh, I swear, she has no idea what she just started. The next few days were a blur of frustration. Getting the car back was an expensive bureaucratic nightmare, filled with pointless fees and Brenda's signature paperwork hurdles. Meanwhile, I needed wheels. My friend Marcus, a retired mechanic who specialized in restoring, and sometimes unrestoring truly ancient transportation, offered a solution, a sort of temporary two-wheeled curse. I needed a cheap, quick fix, but what he wheeled out of his garage made my stomach drop. It was a bicycle, yes, but calling it a bicycle was an insult to engineering. This thing looked like it had been salvaged from the Titanic. The chrome was long gone, replaced by thick, bubbling orange rust. A terrifying, aggressive shade of rust that seemed to defy gravity. It had one gear, the chain perpetually slipped, and the horn was a yellowed rubber bulb that emitted a noise somewhere between a dying goose and a muffled sneeze. I took a deep breath, the dry, metallic smell of the rust filling my nostrils. Marcus, what is this monster? I sighed, pinching the bridge of my nose. He just winked, calling it the Rusty Dragon. It's reliable, Alex. Reliable at reminding you that life is pain. I had no choice but to use it. Then, the secondary twist. Brenda's pride and joy, a massive, gas-guzzling, obsidian-black SUV she called the Commander, was hit by a massive, unavoidable recall notice, requiring a specialized part that wouldn't arrive for weeks. The timing was impeccable. She was due to host the Regional Homeowners Association inspection, and appearances, for Brenda, were everything. When her husband drove the Commander away on a flatbed, a small, selfish burst of pure schadenfreude warmed me. Now who's non-compliant, Brenda? The next morning, I saw her standing by her empty driveway, furiously swiping on her phone, clearly trying to book a rental. She looked stressed, the facade of Perpetual Homeowners Association calm finally cracking. I casually wheeled the Rusty Dragon down the street, forcing a loud, creaky pedal stroke as I passed her. She shot me a look that could curdle milk. Later that day, she approached me at the community mailbox, her face tight. Alex? She began, the forced politeness barely masking her desperation. I have a transportation emergency. I need a temporary vehicle, anything. Do you, by chance, have an extra vehicle I could lease? Just for a few weeks. She paused, adding, I'll pay you handsomely. This was it. The moment of delicious, rusty justice. I leaned back against the mailbox, trying to hide my smirk. Funny you should ask, Brenda, I said, pointing a finger toward the bike rack where the rusty dragon was tethered. I do have one available. Excellent two-wheeled option. Highly visible. Community-friendly. 100% compliant. The look on her face was priceless. A perfect mixture of horror and dawning realization. Her voice trembled. A high, panicked flutter. You don't mean that rusty monstrosity, do you? Oh, I absolutely do, I confirmed, giving the rubber horn a cheerful, pathetic honk. It's either that or walk, Brenda. You need to be seen at the inspection points, don't you? You need to look like the Homeowners Association president. The irony was a heavy, sweet perfume hanging in the air. After a moment of truly agonizing internal debate, she sighed, the sound escaping her like a punctured tire. She had to take it. She had an image to uphold, and walking was beneath her. For the next 4 weeks, the rusty dragon became a neighborhood spectacle. We all watched Brenda Peterson, in her designer clothes and sensible heels, attempt to navigate the complex on the squeaking, wobbling, one-speed bicycle. The simple act of changing direction required a full-body struggle. Every single time she rode past, you could hear the eek-clunk squeal of the rusty components announcing her arrival a block away. The sight of her attempting to scale the gentle slope to the clubhouse, her face mottled crimson with exertion and pure, unadulterated shame, was better than any Netflix show. The residents, usually terrified of her, started waving and smiling. Not maliciously, but with a sort of shared, knowing joy. She had become human, vulnerable, and deeply, deeply ridiculous. When her SUV finally returned, gleaming and silent, she dropped the rusty dragon off at my door without a single word, just a receipt for a massive, unnecessary homeowners association fine she claimed I still owed. I simply tore it up, smiling. The next day, my freshly cleaned electric car was returned to its spot, the towing fees unexpectedly refunded by a mysterious, anonymous donor, almost certainly Marcus. Brenda never bothered me about parking again, and the 3 a.m. memo was quietly rescinded. Justice, I realized, wasn't about revenge. It was about showing a bully the true cost of their petty power, often delivered with a squeaky chain and a whole lot of rust. Isn't that the most satisfying end to a conflict you can imagine? It proved that even the most entitled Karen can be humbled, and sometimes all it takes is the universe, or maybe just a well-timed recall and a terrifyingly rusty bike to put things right. That was quite the cinematic ride. I made sure to pack in the sharp dialogue, the sensory details like the acidic anger and the metallic smell of rust, and, of course, the deliciously humiliating comeuppance for Brenda. Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into the moment Brenda had to climb that gentle slope on the rusty bike, or if you want to write the internal monologue of Brenda while she's pedaling that ridiculous machine.